You think now is the worst time to be alive. Rent's a joke. The planet's overheating, and your boss just scheduled a quick meeting at 4:59 p.m. But guess what? You're wrong. Like, catastrophically wrong. Your ancestors survived literal hell on Earth, so you could cry over a Wi-Fi outage. There have been moments in human history so brutal, so insanely unfair, that this whatever late-stage capitalism is feels like a spa day. Let's break down the real worst times to be alive based on starvation, mass death. In general, please let the meteor hit already vibes. And spoiler, it's not the Middle Ages. Imagine it's summer, but also winter, and spring, at the same time. But also, none of them. In 1816, a volcano in Indonesia exploded so hard it broke the sky. Mount Tambra's eruption sent ash around the globe, blocking out the sun for an entire year. Crops failed. Livestock died. There was famine everywhere. Europe turned into a horror movie. America, snow in June, and people were so desperate, they ate whatever moved slower than them. This was climate change on God mode. Historians don't agree on much, but most of them agree that 536 AD sucked harder than a black hole. Mysterious volcanic eruption darkened the skies for 18 months. Temperatures dropped by 2.5 degrees Celsius. Globiaca, medieval ice bucket challenge. But every day, crops failed again, noticing a trend. Plague followed. Empires collapsed. People literally wrote that the sun gave no light. Imagine being alive and thinking the sun had just ... quit. This one's recent, which makes it way more uncomfortable. World War II hit peak. Brutality in 1942. The Holocaust was in full swing. Japan's invasion of Southeast Asia led to mass starvation and death. The Battle of Stalingrad was turning cities into graveyards. Over 70 million people would eventually die. In 1942, the world was right in the thick of it. Global trauma, 100%. Worst part, no YouTube to even vent. If you're looking for centuries of sustained human suffering, look no further. From the 1500s to the 1800s, millions of Africans were kidnapped, chained, shipped like cargo, and sold. The Middle Passage was a floating horror. Showed 1 in 6 people died before even reaching land, and if you survived, you faced generations of forced labor, torture, and erasure of identity. It wasn't a moment. It was hundreds of years, and it wasn't just the worst time to be alive. It was the worst time to be born. Imagine thriving civilizations with rich cultures, art, science completely wiped out in decades. When Europeans arrived in the Americas, they brought guns, greed, and smallpox. Diseases alone wiped out up to 90% of indigenous populations. Millions died without even seeing their conquerors. Entire empires, Aztec, Inca, Maya, collapsed under waves of infection, war, and colonization. This wasn't just genocide. It was erasure. The people who lived through this, they didn't have therapy. They didn't have protest signs. They endured unfiltered catastrophizing, still, somehow, carried on. You exist because someone, somewhere in your ancestry, refused to die during the worst times imaginable. So next time you're stuck in traffic or rage quitting your group chat, just remember, you've got it absurdly good. Like no plagues in your soup good. Subscribe to Barely Evolve before the next volcano decides we're done evolving.